So yeah, like something like that. Like not that particular song, but or something like American Girl. Like we know that, but I don't put it on the list unless somebody like asks for it. So, and if we do, that's
so
like
you do
usually
take requests.
We will, yeah.
Jim hate when people ask for songs.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Inappropriate with Jim and Steve. I'm Jim.
I'm Steve.
Steve, do I say this every week or do I not say this every week? We have a banger of a show for you today.
Yeah. I'm just too excited and I can't.
This is what we do here, Steve. I speak
word.
and you speak.
Yeah. Got lost for a second.
We have a special guest that we have been trying to get back in this studio, and I can tell you it's been exactly 2 years to the day.
Are you serious? It's been 2 years to the day?
Yes.
No way. Are you serious? I knew it was close.
Jason Butcher from Jason and the Butchers now. Which I always thought would be the go-to.
That was a go-to name for a little while.
Oh,
but I
okay.
didn't stick with it.
Oh, well, I just pulled that out of my ass.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought maybe you knew that.
No.
Yeah.
I know all your back catalog.
I celebrate the entire catalog.
I'm glad that you're finally here.
Me too.
Because
It took a while.
we can stop chatting back and forth about this date and that
Yeah.
date and this date for the
Right.
past 2 years. We finally got you in here. Busy man.
A little bit.
And what do you got going
We're all
on now?
busy. So I got the Betty White Stripes, like bar cover band stuff, but we do all kinds of crazy shit. We're pretty busy. Of course, you came down to the beach, saw us a couple months ago. We're down.
Is it a lot busier during the summer with outdoor bars and things?
Yeah, I mean, not a lot, with everything else going on in life. I don't get too crazy with it, but we play a couple times a month. Like we're down at Fager's beginning of September. We were just at the Jetty. We got something else coming up there. I can't remember when, but Fish Head coming up August. I'm not going to say the date because it'll probably be wrong, but I guess I should have prepared. Yeah. But the great thing is there is only one, the Betty White Stripes, on the entire internet. If you Google it, it's the first thing that comes up.
That's a pretty strong pull for a name of A. It's an awesome name for a band. And B, if no one else got it.
Yeah. So you go on there, our Facebook page is the first thing that pops up. So
The Betty
schedule's
White
always
Stripes.
there. Yep.
So we have all been trying to get to your resident bar, the Fish Head.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of a halfway point between me, Steve, and Joe. Joe's been trying to come out to see you guys. So
he lives the closest.
One of these days.
Yeah. So the next time you are there, we are going to do our best.
Yes.
I was really hoping that you would be down Ocean City before August because I would we saw you in the beginning, but
yes, August 16th.
We had the kids with us,
August
so
16th.
they didn't let us party too hard or too long.
Yeah, they tend to do that.
So August 16th.
Yes, August 16th.
Okay.
By Fish Head.
All right.
Yep.
Let's see if we can make that happen.
Yeah, because that's before I go to London. So
Oh, London, Steve.
yeah, I know.
What are you doing there, fancy pants?
Moving my daughter to her school.
Oh,
So
Wow.
yeah,
Great.
there's
trying
that.
to prove that I'm not a shitty dad, I guess.
Gonna need a lot more than London.
Yeah, I know.
Are you working on new music?
I am actually. I'm recording in the middle of writing and recording some new stuff. It's kind of slow.
Solo
going.
stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, kind of build on from when I was here last time. It'll be another solo record.
Nice.
I'm probably shooting for maybe spring of next year or something like that if I'm lucky.
How does the music making process go? Do you do? I might have asked you this before, but do you do words first?
Sometimes. I mean, I have a book that I write, and even my phone, when I'll be driving, if you see me texting when I'm driving, I'm usually not texting. No, I'll if a line pops in, I'll, do a voice memo or voice to text or whatever. So I have kind of a log of just random shit. But usually I'll come up with it's mostly guitar parts. I'll come up with something on guitar and then just put words or, kind of pick a line and then kind of just build on that.
Now, do you find it more difficult to write now that you're happier and older and not as angsty and maybe, you know what I mean?
A little bit.
You have the kids and you have the wife, you have the job. And before, I feel like, when you're in teens or whatever, your girlfriend breaks up with you, you could write a whole album if that's
Yes.
if that's your creativity, if that's your output.
Yeah.
Now you're just happy and fluffy.
Well, and like the last time was, I wrote a lot of those tunes. We talked about the recovery and rehab and all that kind of shit that I went through. Pretty much all those were written within and right after that time. So there was a lot of shit I was dealing with. So that was pretty easy. Now it is a little harder.
Why did drugs make it so easy to write?
Pain and suffering.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Like, because when you're happy, it's hard to pull from that. Because what are you writing about?
Yeah.
Like a pop tune, even pop tunes, like Taylor Swift is all about breakups. So like it's hard to write. Nobody wants to. There's no like emotional connection to somebody else's happiness, right? But like somebody else going through a breakup or like an addiction or something, like obviously there's plenty of people that can relate to that.
Yeah.
Write me a happy song.
Yeah. I mean,
Switch it. Just turn the whole music industry upside down. Write a happy song.
just write a song about dancing.
Yeah.
Dance. Yeah.
Yeah, I always wonder, like, writing and making music must be like one of it. I always think it's like so fucking complicated, and then it's like to you, you're probably like, oh, like this will come to, and I'm just like,
that's still pretty complicated.
oh, well, good.
I mean,
then I don't feel
sometimes
as bad, so.
like we were talking about last time. Sometimes songs will just come pretty quick, and then sometimes you really labor over them, and you might think, well, this is going to be a really good one, and you spend all this time on it, and then you kind of get it done. You're like, this kind of fucking sucks.
Have you ever written a song that you really liked and then no one else did, and you were like, fuck, I thought everybody.
I think all of them are like that.
So, sort of the same with this podcast. I tell people like, hey, listen to this episode. It's like I'm super proud of this. Like,
Right.
the editing is good. Like Steve and I were just fucking in the vibing, and then people,
Yeah, it's cool.
man.
Where's Joe?
Fucking art is just very personal,
Yes.
and you hope that that I think somebody said it before. When you're writing and doing shit for yourself, it doesn't matter what the fuck anybody else thinks.
Right.
But then the moment you put it out there, you can't say, "Oh, I don't care what anybody else thinks," because like if you didn't care, you wouldn't put anything out.
You're giving it to people.
Right.
Right.
And you hope at that point, like it's out, so you do care because you put it out there. Otherwise, you would have just kept it for
You would
yourself.
just kept it free. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So all those people who are just like, I don't fucking care, man. Like,
Yeah, that is,
you do.
That is true. Don't. I was gonna say something stupid about high school, but never mind.
So you brought something today.
I did. We got some Betty White Stripes T-shirts made,
They are
nifty.
awesome.
red and white.
When you posted that on Facebook, I love this color, and I could tell
the
that
color
they
is
were.
strong.
my
That's a
favorite.
strong.
It's
Yeah.
like the heather
Yes,
red.
it is. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Heather red.
And they are soft tees, and I could tell they were soft tees online. I'm like, get me one of those shirts because I would wear the shit out of it. I mean,
As-
this goes
as
with
you see,
everything.
like, this is
100%.
yeah.
I will wear this with my new camo shorts. You can wear black shorts, khaki shorts, jeans. Fuck. Do you sell these like at your shows exclusively, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have a website or anything, at least not yet. I kind of, this is the first run, so I just want to see how it goes, and then we might have a like an online store or something like that, if
Like a Shopify or something.
Yeah, if
Right.
it gets to that point. But they are actually, we got 75 of them, and we're down to like 30, so they have been selling really quick.
If I went to a bar, had no idea like you were playing or who you guys were,
It's a good looking shirt.
and I would just buy the shirt.
it's a good-looking
like,
shirt.
I don't even you don't
Yeah.
even need to like the Betty White stripes to
It's
rock
a good
the
looking
shirt.
shirt.
Yeah.
It is a strong shirt, so it's like
I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, like the Betty White stripes.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
When you go out to okay, so somebody shows up at your they never heard of you, and they're just stumbled in. What can they expect from a show? Like the style.
Well, I guess first, since we're I guess just to show everyone that we're jumping tracks a little bit. So this is all like cover music. So this is bar, good time,
Yes.
fun shit. And I kind of say we do everything from like Johnny Cash to Prince, and like Tom Petty to Led Zeppelin. So it's just like it's all over the place, and like 50s, 60s. We do some Beatles and stuff. Like we really cover like everything from the 50s, like about to the and then a bunch of 90s stuff. We grew up with that.
When I saw you, when was that? Like, was that
I
May?
think it was in March.
March. Okay. Was it that long ago?
It was.
God, what the fuck is going on?
No, dude, it just time.
Might have been spring break. It could have been spring break.
As a matter of fact, I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was cool is so when you see, like, you go to Secrets, right? So they got the same exact set list since the early 2000s. You go to Secrets, you know what you're going to hear.
Right.
Which I guess they found a little formula that works for them. But I do enjoy when I go see a cover band and they play. I'm not going to say you play like the B sides of some artists, but you might.
But
you know what I mean?
We do. Yeah,
some of the
there's
deeper
some stuff
cuts
that,
of some of the artists, and I thought it was cool because then there were some songs that I didn't even know. Like I knew the artist, but like there was some deeper cuts, and then you played something that of course everybody knows.
Yeah.
So I think you can kind of hit everybody in the audience.
And that's what we really try and do. It's like a band for like people who love music, that aren't just like going out to hear every, like you said, all the same shit that like every
some lit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, or like fucking Sweet Child of Mine, or whatever.
Right.
But nothing against Sweet Child of Mine, but
great song.
We really try and do everything that nobody else does, for the most part. I mean, obviously, there's some crossover, but
I always feel like if you do like an obscure song or something that people don't hear often, you'll get the one, like the couple people that like that hits that they're like, holy shit. And then you're like, they're instantly.
I was gonna say,
yes,
you like
there's a lot of
automatically
that.
new fit. Like
yes,
that's my jam.
That happens a lot, and that's kind of what we try, and that's our thing. That's what we get the people, try and get the people who go, oh shit, and they'll come up and go, you guys fucking played this song that I've never heard anybody play. So that's what you'll hear. You'll definitely hear some shit you might not have heard before, and some shit that you've never heard anybody else play,
or shit you really wanted to hear.
That too. Yes.
Do you do any hip hop crossovers?
Not yet.
Are you working on it?
We're working on some.
Because I heard it. I don't even know the band, but I can tell you, and I'm sure you've seen that. Whenever a band, they're doing some covers, and then all of a sudden they throw in like, even if it's a medley of like some Eminem or Biggie or Tupac, everyone's on the dance floor. Like
instantly.
So you can play like a deep cut, and maybe people that aren't huge fans, that's time to get their drink, and then you bring it right back with the hip hop cover, and I like you just control the crowd, man.
Right.
In Maryland, if you go to Ocean City and you go to like the Purple Moose, all right. So you go to the Purple Moose, and it is basically like a 80s hair metal type-ish bar. A lot of times when I go there and I like watch a band play, I can't wait for the fucking DJ to start, because then I'm like, I'm gonna hear something fucking different. Right. So it's awesome that you do like all a wide spectrum.
And I think that's why it's good for a cover band. Maybe not in the beginning of the night, but like as it gets later and people get a little drunker and they want to start dancing, then you throw in a couple of those, I think.
Yeah, we have to, like, I'll usually call song, once it gets to the end of the night. Like, I mean, I'll write a set list, but as it gets towards the end of the night, like, I'll start kind of picking through and calling stuff. Like, I think they're going to, or somebody will request something, So it definitely, you tailor it to the crowd kind of as the night goes on. And like you said, people get more wound up.
Is there a thought process when you make a set list of songs, like when you're playing a venue, like, a bar? Is there a thought process to when you make the set list? Like, you don't want to put like the song that everybody's gonna like, that you were probably like, fuck this song, but I know everybody will.
Like Journey or something.
Yeah, like Don't Stop Believing, or like
right. So like something like that. Like not that particular song, but or something like American Girl. Like, we know that, but I don't put it on the list unless somebody like asks for it. So, and if we do, that's
so
like
you do
usually,
take requests.
We will. Yeah.
Do you hate when people ask for songs?
No, I don't hate it.
Unless they're
especially
ugly.
Well, and the tip bucket is always conveniently located. I'm like, so
you should have a little sign, like,
a
little joking sign about tip.
Remember that dueling piano bar? That
Howl at the Moon.
Yeah, Howl at the Moon. Yeah. People would bid people against it just to get their song, and I was like, that's a fucking smart ass idea.
Yeah. those cats made some money.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of circling back slightly to Purple Moose, when could it possibly we go down there and see Betty White Stripes on the billboard there?
At the Purple Moose?
Yeah. How hard is it to get into a place like Purple Moose?
We got an offer to play there like 2 months ago, but we were already booked, and it was like a last minute thing. So
They were
it's
surreal to it.
you got it right, pretty much. But yeah, you got to go through an agency. So I mean, we work with that agency. It's also one of those things, like you said, though. You know, that's a very kind of they have their thing. It's very hard rock oriented. That's mostly all they do. So I'm not even sure. I would definitely play there. I'm not sure how well we would go over, but I would play there.
You just have to do your like Quiet Riots, your Motley Crues,
right?
You know those.
Yeah.
Get the fans pumped.
Sweet Child of Mine.
Sweet Child of Mine.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
the one good thing at Purple Moose, no matter how drunk you are, you can't fall over because the floor is so sticky.
It's packed.
And it's so packed. But yeah, the floor, I mean, you walk in there any time of day, it's like, you know, you're walking through that carpet.
There's a lot of semen in there.
Oh, yeah.
They do have some cool shirts.
One of our guests had semen in that. One of our...
What happened?
Semen where?
Probably has been spilled in that bar. So
Oh.
I know he's listening.
E-Rock?
I know he's listening right now, and he just went, "Motherfucker."
You're not going to tell the story?
No. I did in Purple Moose break a mirror in the bathroom with a glass.
Oh,
And
Steven.
I know. And everyone else got kicked out except me. And I was able to go back, and I'm the one that did it. But that thing was broken for, I think, 8 years. Like, and I felt so awesome that every time I'd go in there, I'd be like,
I did that
shit. And they haven't
Steve
even
was
fixed-
here.
Yeah, I know. I should have wrote my name in lipstick or whatever on it.
Yeah, it's definitely got that like dirty rock bar vibe.
Is there a place in Maryland that you like to play the most?
I mean, Fishhead is like that. That's kind of why it's our, you know,
I feel like Fishhead would
home
be like
base.
that.
And there's so many people that you probably grew
Yeah,
up with.
there's
so
always
it's
people there
almost
that-
like a house party in a way at this point. Plus, you guys play there at least. I mean, at one point, it almost seemed like once a month.
It was, last year it was once a month. We turned it back to once every other month this year, which has actually worked out better because now it's, you know, spacing it apart a little bit. So
And now a little less frequency means it's a little more
better.
important when you go. So like, oh, you know, see him now or not gonna see him for another 8 weeks or something like that.
Right.
I did that with Jim. That's how we were off last week.
Now, I always hear about, you know, like bars and so forth, just kind of getting over on bands. As far as the pay, we don't need to get into pay, but is there a huge, I guess, range for bars that pay, or is it all within the same, you know, couple dollars?
No, there's a pretty big range, I would say, and definitely bar owners or / agents, you know, might sort of take advantage of, you know, a band that's younger. But I mean, I've been doing it for a while and you know, have an established name or at least a reputation, so we don't get fucked. But yeah, I mean, it happens, and of course, like bands followings, you know, bands that have been around for, you know, 20, 30 years or whatever, like, you know, Never Never, or, you know, probably even like Surreal or whatever you said, like, you know, when you've got a little bit of established name, you can name your price a little more. So it's, you know.
And you only get, I forget the term of it, but do you get anything aside from like the flat fee? Do you get any sort of like drink sales or, you know, anything above whatever the fee that you guys agree to do?
Just whatever, you know, I'm hawking the tip
bucket
on the mic all night. And I give out stickers, like there's stickers in the tip bucket. So, you know, leave a tip, take a sticker type deal.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll usually, it's not like a ton, but, you know, we usually make an extra 75, 100. Depends on the crowd.
And now
how many
you
people are there.
you got merch.
Yeah. So,
I'm
and
telling
we've
you,
been selling the shit out of the merch.
You will sell the shit out of these fucking t-shirts.
they've been selling.
Yeah.
So
They're fucking strong.
strong.
Have you ever been to Nashville?
Yes.
Okay, so
It's been a while, but yes.
within the past 5 years,
No.
6 years. Okay, so it's probably a completely different Nashville now because it's super fucking
It's built up. Yeah.
But not last time, maybe the time before, we were at Kid Rock's bar, and I think that was The only time I kind of it stood out to me, everybody has tips, like tip jar. Like that's what you're working for there. But Kid Rock's Bar, this band, and it had like a female lead singer. And if you're familiar with Kid Rock's Bar, it's basically 4 levels that look over into the floor. So no matter where you're at, it's humongous. And the band can pretty much walk from the stage all in the bar, around. Like it's a big thing. Anyway, after the set, she was walking around the crowd, literally with the bucket to your face, and it was like,
put something in here.
Put something in. And then if you were like, I don't have any cash, it was like Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. Like,
that's
like
strong.
you couldn't really get away
right.
from it. And good for them. I mean, I'm sure, but you're literally playing to probably 2,000 people in Kid Rock's Bar.
Right.
So
they're walking out with a lot of money.
You could probably do decent, especially I could not walk around. My personality is not to walk around.
Right.
You got to be.
Yeah, it takes a certain type of person.
Yes.
Like I wouldn't do that. I'm just not that kind of person. Like I said, I'll plug it on the mic.
You got to mention
all night
it.
long.
Yeah. Right.
And but I'm not the type to kind of, especially like to force it. Like, hey, I'm here. Here's all.
Yes.
You don't have a way to get out of here without giving me some money.
And it's a female.
Right.
It shouldn't matter, but it does.
Yeah.
There is that interaction. Like if it was a dude, you could be like, sorry, bro.
Nah, dude. Right.
But like this little female, and she's dressed up. Like I can't remember. Like she wasn't like overtly, beautiful or anything, but it's still like female in your face. You're like, all right.
Even
I would go to the
dollar.
I would go to the bathroom. I'd be like, oh no, time to go to the bathroom.
She waiting outside the bathroom. I saw you.
So, hold up, babe. I got a shit.
But I also think it's important because like where we saw you, the stage was 2 feet high. I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah,
so once you get, 2 or 3 people deep in the crowd, you can't see the tip bucket.
Right.
So, if you don't say anything, I don't even know if I would think I was rude or anything if you don't see it. So I don't think it's wrong to be like, hey, we got a tip right here.
I honestly never, until you just said that, I never knew there was a tip jar.
Well, not every band does it.
But I'm sure there's been a ton that I saw that do it, and I'm fucking a dick.
No. You're a dick for many other reasons besides that, Steve. That is the least.
So, as far as summer goes, Steve, I've now almost made summer official by watching one of my 2 favorite summer movies. And I know you know what movies they are.
Yes, I do know which movies they are.
Tell the listeners what's 2 movies that I have to watch every summer.
One would be a classic movie about a bartender struggling in life and trying to make it big.
Yes.
And it stars Thomas Cruise.
Good old TC.
And that would be one. And then the other one
would be Cocktail for anyone who knows.
Cocktail. I forgot to say the name of the movie. And what's your favorite line from Cocktail?
I love the end when he's up and doing the poem.
I see America drinking the fabulous cocktails I make. America's getting stinking on something I stir or shake. The sex on the beach. The schnapps made from peach. The velvet hammer. The Alabama slammer. I make things with juice and froth. The pink squirrel. The 3-toed sloth. I make drinks so sweet and snazzy. The iced tea. The kamikaze. The orgasm.
Hands up the merchandise.
The death spasm. The Singapore sling, the ding-a-ling. Ding-a-ling? America, you're just devoted to every flavor I've got. But if you want to get loaded, why don't you just order a shot?
Do you have a favorite quote of Cocktail?
Yes, I do have a favorite line from Cocktail.
Please let us know what that is.
When he's on the beach, and I think who's the girl that is like the female lead in that in that movie.
It's Elizabeth Shue, right?
Elizabeth Shue. That's who I was going to. Yeah, when she runs over and gets him from when he's like in Jamaica, and he runs over to the girl that's like passed out on the beach, and he like sees the bottle, like he's like a fucking detective, and he like sees the bottle of champagne. He's like, champagne, perfume going in, sewage coming out. I say that anytime I see someone throwing up, I say that too.
Champagne. Perfume going in, sewage coming out.
But yes, that's my favorite line from Cocktail. The other one would be a little movie about people that don't do so well in school, so their summer is a little bit shot. It's Summer School with Kirstie Alley.
Yes.
And some guy. She's the only one I remember in that movie. Yeah, Shoop.
So Summer School is a little more obscure.
Yes, I would say.
And so I saw Cocktail, and I don't know what it is about that movie, but it gets me so fucking pumped for summer. Like
Summer School or Cocktail or
both.
Either.
But Cocktail
right.
is like the one that just for some reason it gets me pumped. I bring up those movies for a couple of reasons. One, well, you should just go watch them because they are just awesome movies to get you pumped for summer. But two, they transition us into what Steve and I are going to do next week, and hopefully Jason will join us. The songs from 80s movies just hit a little different. And I hope that Jason, I think you are agreeing to come back next week where we crown the top 80s movie song of all time. Jason's nodding in agreements that he will be back. So everybody find the Betty White Stripes on, you guys mainly on Facebook. You got an Instagram?
I do. It's jbutch.thebetty-white-stripes. I post on there something. I got to get a little more active on the old Instagrams.
We are horrible on social media.
I'm horrible. Jim's slightly better than me.
But slightly. That's not even saying a lot.
Right.
Like social media.
Because he does nothing. So you do a little bit.
Right.
Every now and then I post something.
So go find the Betty White Stripes on Facebook.
If you're in the Maryland area, definitely check them out.
You guys fucking rock. And
Thanks, man.
We grew up together, and I'm not saying that because
you're not blowing smoke.
When people ask me about musicians, I always say like Jason's a legit musician. I just happen to know him. Like he's happen to grow up. Like I'm not pumping him up or like, gaslighting anyone. Like he's a legit musician. Do yourself a favor. Go find the Betty White Stripes. Maybe one of the best band names. Certainly the best cover band name.
It is
ever.
a fucking awesome name.
Do you feel bad when she passed away? Do you think that did it take away or did it add to?
I think it added to it. Yeah. And we were actually playing that night. So like sometimes at the end of a gig we'll do the Golden Girls theme song.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dude, that's awesome.
So if my wife, that's my wife's favorite, like her favorite show, one of her favorite shows. Like, and at nighttime, Golden Girls is on. So we always fight whether it's going to be The Office or is it going to be Golden Girls. And it depends on who has the remote, if I'm watching Golden Girls or The Office. Yeah. So if we're ever at the next show.
All right.
The intern has requested to play one of their favorite songs. This song is from a band you were in previously, Among Wolves. Very awesome song. Intern said that's the one we're going to play on the outro. Come back next week, Jay. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you guys for having me.
And for Inappropriate, I'm Jim.
I'm Steve.
Don't miss next week.